Yeah, yeah, Sonu Jain ji, and the eminent speaker of the day, Chetan Dalal ji. So, first of all, I would like to thank you, Sonu ma'am, for coming into this session as a special advisory on the request of the EIRC, that too at a very short notice. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for coming onto this program. And I hand over to you to just address the audience and welcome our speaker of the day, Chetan Dalal ji. Over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today to speak on a topic that is reshaping our professions, forensic audit, and the role of AI tools for chartered accountants. In today's complex financial world, the role of a chartered accountant goes far beyond compliance and reporting. We are here not for doing only compliances, annual compliances, income tax return, filing of returns, maintenance of accounts, but we are here for doing much better than all this kind of activity. These are only stereotype activity. One of our most critical responsibility is to safeguard the financial integrity of organization, and forensic auditing is at the heart of that mission. A forensic audit is not just about identifying fraud, it's about uncovering patterns, following the money, and assembling evidence that can stand up in court. In NCLT also, wherever the cases are complex and critical, in IBC, IP, and liquidator can appoint professional for doing forensic audit. It required deep analytical thinking, professional skepticism, and a thorough understanding of both accounting as well as law point of view. But there are the challenges. Fraudsters are getting more smarter. Their methods are more sophisticated. In a nanosecond, by clicking a OTP, your account is pura saaf. All amount goes to other account. You read until lawyers of transactions, digital footprints, and misleading data. This is where artificial intelligence is becoming a game changer. The Chartered Accountant Institute also developed, just like Chat GPT. We do have our own GPT wherein we can search anything and we can extract the reports, sections, whatever help we can take. Actors today can analyze millions of transactions in seconds, identifying anomalies, trends, and red flags that might take a human week or months to uncover. Whether it's through machine learning, natural language processing, or predictive analysis, AI enhance our ability to detect irregularities in real time. Image having an AI assistant that alerts you when an invoice patterns look suspicious or when a vendor's payment behavior suddenly changes. Tools like MindBridge, Caseware, ITIA, or ACL Analyticals are already doing this. And with the integration of AI into ERP system and audit software, chartered accountants are no longer just examiners. We are becoming strategic real analysts. Of course, AI is not here to replace us. Someone, many chartered accountant is having fear factor that when AI will implement it in each and every aspect, then what we will do. So they cannot replace us. They are only machineries. At the time of Y2K, when computer has came, so many government officers were thinking that they will replace us, what we will do, how we will work. And thereafter, it is regularized. The human judgment, ethical foundation, and investigative mindset that we bring as professional cannot be replicated by a machine. But by embracing AI, we can make our audits more efficient, more accurate, and far more impactful. To conclude, the future of forensic auditing lies at the intersection of accounting expertise and technological innovations. As chartered accountants, we must adapt purposefully and lead these transformations because in the right against financial fraud, we are not just accountants, we are the guardians of trust. So we will hear from Chetan Dalalji. Since long we are inviting him in our EIRC and we are hearing from him the case study, his expert opinion, and what nowadays what are as a going on regarding to the forensic auditing. They will put in front of us live case studies, examples. Thank you, Amitji. Thank you, Chetan Dalalji. Thanks to EIRC Chairman. Thanks to the audience. Over to you, Chetan Dalalji.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful address to the audience. Now it's a time to welcome and introduce our speaker of the day. So, CA Chetan Dalalji is a global investigation specialist and a true pioneer in the field of forensic accounting. Mr. Dalal is a fellow chartered accountant, a certified fraud examiner, and notably one of the first CFs in Mumbai among the first 20 in India. A certified internal auditor, a certified system auditor, CISA. His expertise extend to conducting the first ever course for ICAI on forensic accounting. Along with that, he has been educating professionals on IT auditing and fraud for over the 25 years. Mr. Dalal has authored numerous publications and research articles on audit, fraud related topics. So let us welcome Mr. Dalal to share his expertise on recent case studies in forensic audits. Please welcome CA Chetan Dalalji. Over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you all very, very much for all your kind words about me, and of course, this lovely opportunity for me to share my experiences with uh, EIRC and the delegates who are participating in this particular webinar. It is a privilege and a pleasure, and I've always liked to, address audiences and delegates in Calcutta. I've come several times there, and it's a really very great pleasure to speak to all of you. So, because we have a slight constraint in time, I had wanted when Amitji originally spoke to me about talking on forensics. I had thought of three things to talk about. I had thought of some sharing some recent cases with you. I had thought of giving you one model case study of AI, how AI can be used in forensics. And I wanted to also talk to you about the about what Sonuji also said. Forensics is going to become very big. It has already become very big. And what are the opportunities? What are the good things that chartered accountants can get? And probably even how to get good work and good opportunities in this. But because we have a constraint in time, I am I have decided just now that let me prioritize the AI related presentation part of my presentation first, because I think in the times to come AI is here to stay and is going to be an integral part of not only forensics, it's going to be an integral part in virtually every profession, every walk of life. So, I have prepared one model case study which illustrates how forensic audit can be aided by artificial intelligence as a tool. In fact, I got an opportunity. In fact, when Ranjit ji was the president a few months ago, we had a very major event in Delhi. I don't know whether all of you remember. There was this WOFA, which was a very big event which the ICAI had hosted. And in that, I had presented this particular case, this model case. So let me start off with this particular case study, because that will take some time to explain, but it will be something which I feel would be of direct use to many of you, particularly those people who are still new to the world of AI, those people who are still trying to grapple with what AI is and how it can be used. So neither am I a great expert in AI, but I have been able to do something where I've been able to apply AI to see how well it can be used in a given assignment. And this is a model case, which it's an artificial case, but it is something which will help you to understand what are the potential capabilities of using AI. So let me begin with a very nice uh, story that I've heard, but it is something which is very relevant to us, because things are constantly changing and our outlook needs to change. In Japan, there is some fish. There is a reference of a fish called the koi fish. Again, that's my name is. I'm not very certain of what the exact name is, but this particular fish has a strange feature. If this fish, when it is born, if it is kept in a fish bowl, it will grow to the size of about 2 or 3 inches, about so much. But when that newborn fish is put in a large tub or a large tank, it may grow up to about 7 to 8 inches. And if this fish is there in its natural habitat, where maybe in a lake or a pond somewhere, it can grow even to as much as 2 feet or 3 feet long. Now, this particular fish, the features of this particular fish are very important to us. The fish increases its size, its dimensions based on its outlook. When it sees that it is in a very small fish bowl, it doesn't grow more than that. When it's in a tub, it grows a little more than that. And when it's in the wide open habitat, it grows naturally to a very big size. I think even as chartered accountants, we have to come out of our mindset. Many of our fellow colleagues I've still seen, even in the current times, if they are doing tax practice, or if they are doing practice of small audits or small internal audits, their minds are usually in a block over there. They don't think beyond that, and they won't let go of that. They won't do more research. It's not that they don't want to do it, but they are worried about losing something, and therefore what happens is that their practice stagnates. They remain where they are, and when the world is out there in the open, where so many new things have happened, this is something that they miss out on. So I would urge all of you basically to keep keep going the good old practice that you may have, but also reserve some time for understanding the new things that are coming up, like for example this AI, where if you use these new things, if you are able to try and adapt, you will find that your practice will escalate multifold much faster, and the quality of your work also will grow much faster. So AI is one such thing, but remember, at the end of the day, it is nothing but a tool. You cannot be overly dependent on it. You can use it. It's like using a calculator when you want to use it, but for everything, you shouldn't be using a calculator. Your human judgment is also important. But be that as it may, this is the basis on which I'm going to now introduce to you a tool, AI tool, and how, with one example of how it could be used in some kind of a forensic audit. So, may I share my screen, please?
Sir, you are on mute, sir. Chetan, sir, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself. Uh, Sir, you can go to that Zoom option. On the left hand side bottom, you can see unmute button. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
See,
sir. Now you are.
when I'm going off the share screen, I'm able to do it. But the moment I go to share screen, my audio is unfortunately muted. 1 minute. Let me try again.
Sir, let your volume be your computer and not the microphone.
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, sir. We can hear you now.
Oh, okay. So now can I start?
Yes, sir. Sure. Please.
Okay. So what is this AI? AI is nothing but artificial intelligence, and it is a very, very, very powerful tool which helps you to perform any given task fast and with great precision. And what is important is this AI, it is self learning. So that means every time it does something, if there is something that you instruct or something that it has to be corrected, it will make sure that that same mistake is not repeated again. It's dynamic in nature and it can actually mimic what we can do as humans. So, to all intents and purposes, it is nothing but a robotic form of a tool which gives you everything that we actually can do. So let me give you a little more insights into this. There are three kinds of artificial intelligence. One is called the narrow or weak, which is, you can say, the primitive one. Then there is a general or strong, which is the fairly strong AI, and the one which is the last one is super intelligent AI. So when we are talking of narrow or weak AI, it means that the AI is capable of only one particular kind of activity or whatever it has been designed to do. Like, say, for example, if there is an AI which is used for medical purposes, and in medical purposes, let's say for heart surgeries, it can do only that. It cannot do liver, kidney, it cannot do something which is non-medical related, and so on. So that means these are known as narrow AIs. But what it can do for heart surgeries would be phenomenal. It would be perfect, fast, and accurate. Then general or strong AIs are those AIs which mimic a human being exactly, like whatever a human can do, the artificial intelligence that tool particularly can do. So it is equal to a human being. And the third one is that where it is super intelligent, where, as you would have guessed, yeah, it is a stage where that artificial intelligence, that tool, is better than a human being. So at the current stage in the world, we have still reached stage two. That is where we've got very strong artificial intelligence tools which can mimic and do everything that a human beings can do. But the time is not far, or maybe there are some tools somewhere in the world where they have even crossed that barrier, where they are even better than human beings. So this is the kind of classification that we have of AI. Now, in this, my intention here is to show you how we as chartered accountants can use. As far as I'm concerned, I'm a forensic auditor. So I thought of using an AI tool basically to see whether I can prepare a better or an evolved forensic audit report. So I'm now going to show you an illustration of a very simple AI tool which we can say could be used in a forensic audit. Now, supposing there is a case study, it's an artificial case study, but supposing it's a case study where there is a fire claim investigation. Now, you are a forensic auditor and you have to verify a claim that the quantity that has been claimed and the value is correct or it is overstated. That's a very simple objective that we are given. So, if the concerned forensic auditor, he will have some limited data about the boxes claimed, dimensions, and so on. Can he use this at least to find out whether the claim has been fabricated, falsified, or overstated in any way? So now, to achieve the simple objective, can we use an AI tool? Yes, we can. Now, so let us explain that. So a simple AI tool in this situation can be used to perform analytics and facilitate even preparation of a report. So there are three broad stages or steps in this. The first step is that we have to first select a tool where we have to feed the objective. That means we have to instruct the AI as if it's a human being to say that this is my objective and for achieving these objectives, I have only the following facts or information with me. As simple as that. You identify a tool, give the objective that you have in mind, and whatever information you have, you give that information. So that is the bare minimum that is required to be able to use an AI tool for a given objective. Then you have to instruct the AI tool how to go about it. So that means you can tell it to use its inbuilt intelligence, use relevant research, maybe do internet searches, perform whatever analytics are necessary, A to Z, whatever is required. You have to only instruct the AI to achieve your objective. And then towards the end, you can, once the AI is done that, the data that will be given to you will be a kind of a clutter. But in order to make it meaningful and useful, if it is presented in a form of a report, it becomes more meaningful and it is more useful to you as a professional. So you can even ask the AI to prepare a report for presentation. So far, all good? Everybody is there? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So please, once in a while, if somebody says yes or no, I know that I'm not speaking to a blank wall. Okay,
Yeah,
I'll be grateful
yes,
for that.
sir. Definitely.
Okay. So now in this particular case, what will be the step one? The forensic auditor will identify an AI tool, and which of course I'll also demonstrate that to you. And this AI tool has to be told that this is the claim that has been made. Can you find out the reliability? Can you find out whether the claim says, whatever the claim says by way of stocks which have been stored in the warehouse, are they correct, or is the claim overstated? So for this, he has gathered certain facts which will have to be given to verify the claim. So in that, let us presume I visualized the following are the facts which are available with the forensic auditor. So let us look at them one by one. So the claim that was received was for, let's say, 275 boxes of some very valuable stock, which is, let's say, $25 per box. Okay. And these 275 boxes have been completely gutted down by the fire because the warehouse was completely burnt. Now, with the help of the landlord's blueprint, the auditor is able to get at least some bare information, like what is the dimension or what are the dimensions of the warehouse. So that the auditor came to know that the warehouse was 20 feet tall, 20 feet long, and 10 feet wide. So these are some imaginary dimensions that I'm giving. Then the stocks in the warehouse would have to keep some space available for moving in and out. So there would have to be a gangway. So let us say that there is a gangway of 2 feet wide in the middle, in the center of that warehouse. So that stocks could not obviously be stored over there. And let us understand the dimensions of the boxes. So you are given to understand that each box is about 2 feet long, 1 foot wide, and 1 foot tall. So this is the size of each box. Then you are told that there are certain complications in order to know what is the maximum possible number of stocks that could be stored in the warehouse. Because there are weight restrictions, only 10 boxes, there's a stacking norm that you cannot have more than 10 boxes in one column. You, though the warehouse may be 20 feet long, you can have only 10 boxes, because more than 10 boxes, the lowest box will not be able to bear the weight. So there is a restriction that only 10 boxes can be stacked in one column. Then you are also told some other incidental information that 25 boxes were empty because they had unusable stocks. Then which were removed and which were disposed of. Then 10 boxes were kept outside, and therefore they were saved from the fire. And there was just on the previous day a theft of 10 boxes, which also meant that those boxes wouldn't have been there, which were lost by fire. So then in that case, what you ask the AI to do is, considering all this information, can you find out how many boxes could have been stored and whether there was an excess claim. So this is your very clear indication to tell the AI that you do this, you do the analytics, you do the computation, and you prepare a report for me. Now, what I have given you are some imaginary constraints. You can go with 10 more different kinds of complications. Maybe there are different kinds of values of different stocks. There can be different kinds of products. There can be some other issues relating to the stacking norm, and whatever else you think of. There is no problem. As far as the AI is concerned, it is supposed to be well equipped to meet with any kind of complication to give you something that you can use for evaluating the claim. So after this, I'm going to show you now. I have selected some tool. Now, let us not go into what is the name of this tool and all that, but I just downloaded the one tool from the net. And after there was some very small nominal payment which I had to make for downloading this AI tool. And when I installed it and I opened it, I found that this was the browser that was given. Now, all these things that are there in the browser are not difficult for us to understand, but this is what you normally get. But what is important is on the lower bottom right side, there is a drop down menu that you get, which tells you what are the different things the AI can do. The language is sometimes a bit of an issue for us to understand. Like, say, for example, I have selected a second one where we talk of create a video script. Now, we are not here into filmmaking, but here what the AI means is that if you give me a data, I will prepare a script for you for out of which we can make a video. That is what it is trying to say. So our object is very clear that I want you to make an evaluation of one particular warehouse which was gutted down by the fire, and there were 275 boxes and there were all these facts. I want you to tell me what is the maximum number of boxes that were stored in that warehouse and which could have been lost by fire. Now, so when you press this create a video script, the AI tool will automatically ask you for the basic objective and the facts. So here, if you see the place where it says use a prompt, this is the place where you feed in your objective and the data. Okay, so this is the place where you are talking to the AI. You are telling the AI, okay, now this is what I have, this is what I want. Simple as that. So once you give this, then you say that now I have given to you what I want you to do. So please generate a script from this. When we say generate a script, means generate the answer for me. Calculate, compute, analyze, and give me what you can. Now remember, friends, in this particular thing, the AI itself will provide all the support that is required. Like if it has to apply any mathematical calculations, it also knows how to do that. If it has to maybe search the net for some algorithm, it will also do that on its own. If you want it to search for some similar warehouse or some research somewhere, it can also do that. Only thing is, all this to cram into one presentation is not easy, but there are ways and means where you can guide or you can tell the AI to do the needful. So it automates the process that you would do manually, but with a very far outstanding reach and with a degree of precision that you cannot imagine. Coming back to this, in this specific case, I have now fed to the AI tool a complete set of facts which I've already spoken to you earlier about, and the objectives. Then I say, come on, now you give me a report from there. So what it means is generate a script from there. So when it says this, so it will automatically give you an answer over here. Now, since you are not able to see the entire screen and I cannot operate this particular AI from here, I will show you what exactly the AI said. So what it says is it performs the analytics and it provides this answer. So based on all the information, etc., that was given, the AI tells me as the forensic auditor that calculating the storage capacity, the total volume was 4,000 cubic feet minus the gangway. So this meant that only 190 boxes could fit. But the AI further says, but you told me that 25 boxes were empty, 10 were kept outside, and 10 were stolen just before the fire. So only 145 boxes were stored. The claim of 275 boxes resulted in an excess claim of 130 boxes worth 3,250, and a digital twin was also prepared. Now I am not going into this explanation of digital twin, but maybe in the question answer session, if somebody wants, we can talk about that also. So now the AI has given us the answer, but now for this to be prepared and to be presented, you can even ask the AI to prepare a report. So the AI tool also provides you for a facility to prepare an audio visual. So when we say audio visual, means it's a film. So the same answer which it gave earlier in the previous slide, you put inside this transcript and you tell AI, "Okay, come on, now I want you to make a report." So automatically the AI will generate a report. So what you see on the screen is that part of the AI where it is actually making a film. If you just see right at the bottom, it has picked up certain pictures from the net and it has started fitting them in along with the contents of the report to prepare a film. And After this, it will come up with a film. Can you see? This is a full-fledged film. I'm not sure whether you are able to hear the audio, but you can see the film which it has made. In a warehouse fire, 275 boxes of valuable stocks were lost. The warehouse can you hear it? Tall,
Yes, sir. Audio is also is
Okay, great.
everyone.
Each box was 2 feet long, 1 foot wide, and 1 foot tall, allowing for a maximum of 10 boxes stacked high. Calculating the storage capacity, the total volume was 4,000 cubic feet, minus the gangway. This meant only 190 boxes could fit. However, 25 boxes were empty, 10 were saved outside, and 10 were stolen just before the fire. So, only 145 boxes were actually stored. The claim for 275 boxes resulted in an excess claim of 130 boxes, worth $3,250. A digital twin was also needed to visualize the stock before the fire. So, as you can see, what I just now demonstrated to you, the AI helps you right from the beginning to the end. The only investment of time that you require is to identify very clearly what is the objective of your exercise and to collect as many facts as are possible, because the more facts that are collected, the more accurate will be the results that the AI will offer. So, as I said, the capabilities of AI here are unbelievable. It can use algorithms as and when needed, and that too with precision. It'll be like a calculator. Today, if I were to tell any of you also that okay, I'm giving you this algorithm, use it. As human beings, to be able to apply an algorithm and to make sure it is correct is also not easy. The AI will perform this with you with accuracy. It will do analytics. It can even predict fraud. For example, in credit card system, uh, it is believed that when a slightly unusual pattern is noticed by the AI, it will immediately inform the bank will immediately get an alert, and the bank will make an inquiry to with the cardholder to check whether a particular use of that card was legitimate or not. So, in fact, there was one case where a person who had lost his credit card came to know from the bank that his card was lost and it's being used somewhere else. So that much is the speed with which AI can catch unusual patterns and anomalies, and it can do risk analysis. So it can be used in unbelievable ways in different manner in with a high degree of accuracy. But for all this that I've told you, for all the power which it undoubtedly has, it is only a tool at the end of the day. It cannot replace human intelligence. What we can do as human beings, our judgment, our perception, our instinct cannot be fed into AI. Or if it will be fed, that time is yet to come. But at the moment, an AI is only a faithful tool. It will do as you talk, as you want, but it cannot be given a complete reliance to say, okay, my AI has done this, so this is accurate. It is always appropriate to have it rechecked humanly to ensure that it is working well. So this was one case which I thought I would share with everybody. And now what I would like to do is I would like to talk about some opportunities in forensics. So I'm just I'll stop sharing and maybe we'll talk. Uh, in forensic audit, there are huge number of opportunities that are there. First, let me just quickly run through what are the kinds of opportunities that are there. First and foremost, I'm sure all of you are very aware or must be knowledgeable about the fact that most regulators now have a system of empanelment, whether it is SEBI, SFIO, RBI, income tax, police, EOW, CBI, crime branches, enforcement directorate, GST authorities, you name it, every such department, every such regulatory department, they have a system of empanelment of auditors. And for the purpose of empanelment, different regulators have different criteria for the purpose of accepting and registering an applicant. Honestly, yes, I'm sure you people are also aware aware that usually it is only the big firms which get an opportunity for organizations like SEBI and SFI. True, that I agree. But at the same time, there are a lot of people, a lot of regulators at a slightly lower or middle level. Like say, for example, in income tax, like let's say, for example, even in police, EOW. I think at these places also there is a fair degree of empanelment, and there is a decent chance that you can get this. But put that all aside. Supposing you don't get empanelments, let's say that you still want to do it, then I would suggest that to get and tap opportunities in forensics, you should do two things. One is there is this course by the institute itself, ICAI's course of fraud investigation and forensic accounting. I think if you do this, it will help you to be able to understand what are the finer points and what are the things that are required to be done in this world of forensics. Apart from that, you get a qualification, you get a kind of a testimonial to show that you are also doing well in that, or that you are also experienced in this, or at least qualified in this. And the second thing that you should do, and which is very important, as I mentioned right at the beginning, is that you must necessarily do constant research. That is doing a lot of reading, hearing a lot of people who have been doing very well. Go to YouTube, find out things about forensics, fraud investigation, big scams, all these things. If you do maybe half an hour or 45 minutes every day, you will start collecting some information. You'll start getting more and more aware of what are the things that can be done, that can be taken care of. Okay, so these are some of the things that you need to do initially. So supposing you got your certificate, suppose you also gathered a lot of information from the net or from some by reading some books and all that, and supposing you don't get empaneled, then what? I'm sure this must be the question that may be rankling in the minds of many of you people. Okay, I'll tell you my journey. Even if it takes me a few minutes, I'll tell you what happened. I was also till about 97, 98. I was also into the normal practice of going to income tax offices, cooling my heels outside the inspecting assistant commissioner's office or the ITO or whoever it was, waiting for them. I used to do some small audits here and there, and my life was stagnated at that level. Then after that, I felt that we should do something that is different. And luckily for me, I had always a very good intention or an interest in doing research. I therefore had applied to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India to do some research projects, and I asked them whether I could do some research into this fraud and financial crimes investigation. And initially, it was difficult because being an unknown person, you don't get that opportunity very easily. But I think if a little effort is made and with good people like your ERC people and the committee members and all that, if you go through them, you can do this. So this is your first step, and it is for me. It was my first step to be able to make my presence felt. Then you start taking opportunities to speak at study circles, at small groups. Then maybe you graduate to a slightly higher level to go to a larger gathering, maybe in seminars, conferences. Then you get visibility outside. And once you do these two things, once you write and once you do visibility, the world is open for you. And I'm particularly talking to the younger chartered accountants, those people who have yet a long career ahead of them. This is the best way. There is no other way of going and meeting 20 people or making presentations. It might work a little here or there. There are many firms who feel that by making presentations to CFOs and to go to various people at various big corporate houses and all, you will get work. Perhaps, but at least my experience is quite different. My experience is somewhere across. If you want to get opportunities, if you want to tap opportunities, you have to inspire confidence into the people who can give you those opportunities, that you are a capable person, you have the skill sets, and you have the requisite experience. If you're and for that, Nothing like good academics. It takes time. I agree with you that if you, let's say today you're in 2025, you start doing it. It may take up to maybe 27 or 20, early 28 before you start getting recognized and you start getting assignments. But once you do, believe it or not, friends, there is no looking back. You will find that people, by word of mouth, that is also, they say, a principle of marketing, WOM principle, word of mouth. If one person has found you to be good, you can rest assured that work will come to you again and again and again from various quarters. A matter of patience, matter of hard work, matter of integrity, and there the world is open for you. Otherwise, opportunities, I'll quickly rattle out what are the different opportunities that can be available. Opportunity one is in companies, there are these whistleblower complaints. When you say whistleblower complaints, means in virtually every company there is a policy, usually a whistleblower policy, and I'm talking of the listed and the public companies, where any person can make a complaint, make an allegation, make even anonymously, to tell them that something wrong is going on, or some bribery, kickback, corrupt practices, or some business leakage is going on. They have a right to respond to write to the company under the whistleblower policy, and the company is obliged. All these companies, the board of directors are obliged to address every complaint. Whether they investigate every complaint or not is a matter of decision, but they cannot ignore any complaint. It has to be taken up under the whistleblower committee policies. And those kind of investigations are often given out to people like you and me. In fact, a lot of my revenue, my opportunities come from whistleblower complaints. Now, one of the things you may ask me is, how will the people over there in the companies be aware that you are also available to help them? So there is a two-stage process. First is that you have to get into that group or that kind of a network to make a larger firm or a larger alliance. If there are, let's say, 8, 10 firms of your size or slightly bigger, smaller, whatever, make yourself as a single unit. And in that, if you have one cell which is actually looking at forensics and risk, then you can make sure that from all those 8, 10 firms, you can direct or channelize business to that cell, and the profits can, the revenue sharing can be done based on the internal understanding. The other way is that you can get work by taking help from people bigger than you. When I say bigger, means people who are already in the field and who are experienced. I'll give you my example, that supposing there are any of you here who are listening to the 25 participants, supposing you all say that, okay, we want to get into this world of even examining whistleblower complaints and various fraud investigation assignments. Suppose some of you come to me with your profiles and with your resume. Then what we can do is, we when I get assignments, if I get some assignment in Calcutta or in Bengal or somewhere in that side, I can use your help as maybe contractors or subcontractors. And at that time, when you get that, you also come in contact with some of the people, some of the corporate people that we have. Plus, on your profile, you can also show that you also worked in these kind of assignments, and you can use that as a stepping stone for going up. Sometimes using hand holding of a person who's already in the field is one of the shortest and fastest ways of getting into this. So over there, if supposing there is somebody who doesn't know how good or how really capable you are, you should even offer to do services at reduced rates, discounted rates, or if required, I have done this myself, even free, because you want that opportunity. You want to put your foot inside that particular place to get that opportunity, and this is one of the very good ways. And in this, I'll also mention, and if any of the current participants are interested also, and I make this offer to many of the people, delegates and seminars that I speak to, is that if anybody wants to get into this writing of articles or writing of some material or book or sharing in some kind of content along with me, I am happy to write a joint article with any of you who has some material and who has some content and want to uh, go into this field. Because it's possible that sometimes, being a newcomer in the field, any institute or organization may not immediately give you an opportunity. But if supposing you write an article and co-author it with me, then along with my name, there is a chance that the institute may agree to publish that article, even if it is with one of you, and then you automatically start getting known and you get your visibility. What happens is, A, you get the experience of writing, and B, you get the visibility. So this is also one very, very correct, straightforward, and honest way of going about uh, getting business in this. Towards the end, what I would only like to say is that, whatever I've said, whether it is artificial intelligence or whether you do empanelment or whether you go and do other things to get work, one very basic fact of life, friends, is that we all are chartered accountants, so we already have some basic intelligence. But the real success and to be a successful professional, the first and very basic point is that we all must be good human beings. Only a good human being can be a good professional. And when you say good, means the ability to serve others, the ability to put a smile on somebody else's face, the ability to do a good deed every day. In this world, if you spend some time by getting a smile on somebody else's face, believe it or not, friends, you will become a professional in your work in an exponentially much better way, because your mind is tuned towards positivity. The positivity comes out in your work, the positivity comes out in your future rewards. Please try, please, irrespective of whichever religion you may follow, whether you are a Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Christian, whatever, follow the right practices that are given in your religion. Do what is a good deed for others. If you do this, friends, I assure you that whatever you may be doing, whether it is tax, whether it is audit, whether it is anything else, you will do brilliantly. And once again, I take this opportunity of saying a big, big thank you to all of you who have come over here, who have been participants in this particular program. Big thank you to Sonu ji and Amit ji for giving me this opportunity to share my experiences with you. May God bless you, and may you all be very, very successful in life. I'm open to questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session and just enlightening us with the case study, how to use the AI in the forensic audit, as well as how to get the opportunities in this area. Thanks for this handholding. Now let us come to the question answer round. If anybody has any question, please come up. There is a one question, sir, from anonymous attendee. He or she haven't disclosed her name. So they are asking that kindly tell us the tool name that has been used in your presentation. You just showed us a tool na, of AI. So they want to know the tool name, sir.
I don't mind. I can give it to you, but I thought as per institute's rules, I'm not supposed to market or say anything. So I can suggest one thing. Who's asked this question? Can that person come on screen? Because then I,
Actually,
I
sir,
will.
anonymous attendee, because there is an option where we cannot the participant might not disclose their name, so he haven't she haven't disclosed his or her name, so I am unable to identify the person.
So the anonymous participant is asking me to give the exact name of the tool.
That's the irony, sir.
Honestly, I don't think the institute would like it, because I think there are certain rules. Like, I can't say you use Excel or audit software of this kind of this. But to be whoever that person is, he or she, I will say this, that any tool is, it's like having either Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Both are the same thing. Colgate or Close Up. All these are, there is no difference between them. You go to the internet and just ask for AI tools for downloading, and there may be some tools which are available free also, but I would say take the ones which are professional. They are, PRO tools that they call. So those tools are done with a lot of professional presentations, and they come out very well. So there are several such tools. Any of the tools will give you the same kind of browser that I showed you on my screen, and you will be able to do the same things, probably even better.
Got it, sir.
Does it
Thank you,
answer
sir.
the person's question?
Yeah, hopefully yes, sir.
Okay.
And there's another question from Vivek Joshi. I guess that was at the beginning of the session, which you already answered. That is, if sir, can you guide a bit more towards opportunities? I guess you have already guided us through. because that was at the beginning of the session. The question was, any more question from anyone? I think that's it, sir. I tell you very frankly, so one thing, while you were deliberating your session, so there were few questions coming up in my mind. And the moment the question came up, and within 5 minutes, you already answered it. Okay, okay, this is the way, so you can go by this and blah blah blah. So that was a wonderful session. uh, Thanks to all the patientful listener, the participant, Sonu ma'am, our ex-chairman, and obviously the wonderful speaker of the day, Chetan sir. So on behalf of EIRC team and our audience, I would like to express our sincere gratitude for your insightful and engaging session on the recent case studies in the AI forensic audit, sir. And your expertise and sharing of practical case studies provided a valuable learning experience for all the attendees. So thank you so much everyone for attending the session. Thank you so much Sonu ma'am. Thank you so much Chetan sir for the wonderful session. So we meet you all on the next session, that is on Friday at the same time, 5 o'clock, on another topic with another speaker. Thank you everyone for joining the session.
Okay. Bye bye,
Thank you,
everybody.
sir.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye ma'am. Good evening. Bye.